Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and together we are going to be diving into your next 2 weeks to see the overarching energies, but also doing a week-by-week energy forecast with the charms. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits, and anyone new who may be joining us here for the first, second, or third time. It's wonderful to have you all here, as we are going to be diving in with the charms, with the letters, the numbers, and everything to really look into the nitty-gritty of your next 2 weeks. If you're interested in more art magic or charm casting videos, I have an entire master guide video on charm casting, so you can really learn more about how to use charms for your own practice. And I also do art magic videos like the one I just recently did on creating your own grimoire oracle. So if that interests you, definitely feel free to check that one out as well. But like I said, today we're really going to be focusing on your next 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and look at the piles here. So for each of the piles here, we have 3 different little affirmations. For the pile 1, or for pile 1 rather, your affirmation is live for today in this orange color. So if you're feeling called to this one, that's pile 1. Here for pile number 2, we have the affirmation of turn the page in this more tealy, greeny blue color. So if you're feeling called to this one, that is pile number 2. And then last but not least here for pile number 3, we have this very bright color of green with the words go your own way. So if you're feeling called to this one, that is pile number 3. So before you start heading off to the timestamps, I like to invite you to take a deep and cleansing breath here in a minute with me so we can really look into each of the piles and connect with each of them using our own intuition. So let's go ahead and dive in with a deep breath together here now. And as always, there's no right or wrong ways to choose your piles here. You can choose all 3 of the piles. You can choose a pile, change your mind, flip-flop, whatever you need to do here. There really are no rules. All the timestamps are down below in the description alongside the chapter marks of this video. And if you're interested in more of the art magic, charms, or other offerings that I get up to, feel free to check out my Instagram down below or my link tree for all of that information. So with that said, let's go ahead and look at these piles with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this affirmation of live for today, then this is the pile for you as we dive into what you have coming in for your next 2 weeks. We're going to be doing it with the charms, we're going to be doing it with the numbers, the letters, the tarot tiles, and the oracle deck of choice being the thread-bound oracle, sticking with the queer created deck theme for Pride Month. So let's begin. Feel free to get yourself cozy, get yourself settled, get right into, putting your intuition cap on and seeing what we got coming in for you for the next 2 weeks. If you are new to these readings, we're going to start off first with the letter tiles. So the letter tiles are going to give us information. We can, spell things out, do some oracle messages through these, but you can also see specific names or initials coming forward as well to really look forward to, or to look more specifically to for the next 2 weeks. So let's get right into it with the letters. So I don't know if any K's came forward, but as I was mixing it, the letter K just kept popping up in my head. Maybe a message of like, everything's okay, it's okay kind of message. Otherwise, an initial of K might be coming forward. The letters that we have coming up right already is T, D, F, and O. Other things, we have L. Another T, you guys have a K. I had a feeling there was a K coming forward. We have an M, an R, and another T. So we've got 3 T's. T's are definitely coming in. T also, can come up with like the saying of like there's a lot of tea or what's the tea, sort of in an idea of like gossip or some sort of miscommunication maybe happening, some clarity needed around some sort of topic in your life. So we have that coming forward with tea. TLDR came forward as well, like too long didn't read is what it stands for. So it also could be just that there's a lot of things happening for you. You guys might be very busy, or maybe you're just your attention span, your ability to get certain tasks done, the amount of attention you can give to other people in a conversation or to just sort of even give to yourself might be quite low. If you guys are spoonies out there, maybe you're just low on spoons this week, things to keep in mind. Other things, like I said, we have that okay feeling, like almost feels like a guide is coming forward. It feels very almost motherly coming forward and just being like, it's okay, very nurturing kind of guide coming forward. We also have FM, made me think of the radio. So maybe there's something very specific about music or creativity coming forward. But the big things that I'm really getting is that like motherly, nurturing energy coming forward to say things are okay. We've got some tea, some gossip maybe happening, some need for clarity in a conversation. And then there's also like too long didn't read, right? There's this feeling of like maybe your attention span or your ability to give attention to others or certain projects and tasks in your life might be quite low this week. So things to consider moving forward. I definitely am just tripping over my words. What is unusual about that, right? But let's go ahead and move on to your numbers. So similar to the letters, when we do the numbers, we're going to be looking into, instead of, names and initials, we're looking for repeating numbers. We're going to look at what the numbers might mean for angel numbers or numerology, any other kind of specific dates that might be important, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and mix these up as well. And then you had one that fell right into the palm of my hand. Again, felt like a guide coming forward. You guys are definitely being watched or looked after by some sort of guide. If you guys maybe don't know who that might be, I have lots of videos you can check out about spirit guides that might be coming forward. But the one that they, put into my hand was the number 10. So, obviously, we've already passed the 10th, depending on, I guess, when you're watching this. But if you're watching it right after it comes out, the 10th and the 18th have already kind of passed. But these are things that still might be significant. Things that happened on those dates might be significant moving into your next 2 weeks and things to consider. 10 is also a number of completion. So it's completing something, finishing something, feeling like you have... Sorry, there's huge thunder outside. Feeling like you are completing or coming full circle with something as well. So even though there's a lot of tasks, there's a lot of tea, there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of things happening over these next 2 weeks, something is completing, something is finishing up, or you're tying off loose ends there at the last stretch. The 18th is also coming forward there. For some reason, graduation kind of came forward with like completion and the idea of like being 18. Maybe some of you are graduating, or someone who is graduating or has just recently graduated, and that is related to your next 2 weeks. So that's something to consider as well. But let's go ahead and look at your main energy for the next 2 weeks. So we're going to be pulling one specific card here to see what the main energy is that's coming forward, the overarching energy for you for the next 2 weeks. So if you haven't sent your energy in through time and space, through the camera lens to the deck here, then definitely feel free to for this one, because it's going to be a much more overarching message. So let's see. Group 1, what do you got coming forward, Group 1? That overarching theme and energy for you for the next 2 weeks to consider. Group 1. I kind of feel like several cards have tried to sort of come forward, but I wanted the deck to kind of speak, especially since you had so many spirit guide kind of messages coming forward. So the one that flipped out of the deck is the 2 of ink. which is the medium. If you guys have ever used ink, it'd be the medium of the ink. And it says balance, purpose, and setting. And what I really like about this card, especially with everything you've had here with that like too long didn't read or that busy feeling that you have coming up, this card is all about like, say, I know not all of you are probably artists out there, but if you've ever like tried to put ink on paper, there's certain papers where that ink just smudges, it smears, it does not work. And there's others where it just goes on beautifully, perfectly. And so sometimes, we just are thinking that things are set up, right? We've got our pen, we've got our paper, we've got things in our lives that we're ready to go. We want to get started on them. And it's just like they're not meshing, they're not working. The gel pen's running onto your hand, the paper is falling apart, right? So it kind of just feels like something that you want to have set up, something you want to bring into or to work on or even maybe complete over these next 2 weeks is just quite difficult to set up over these next 2 weeks. It's just like not primed for it. Things are not ready to go. Kind of like when you're priming a wall before you paint it, right? If you don't put the primer down, like the paint's just not going to go down very well. And so it kind of is like a spirit guide message coming forward to be like, these next 2 weeks, there's things that you're going to want to get done, but it's just not primed. These next 2 weeks are not primed for you to be able to possibly complete those, or they're just not going to go down as easy or as well as maybe you hope. So not exactly the most fun or optimistic message, but it is a message just being kind of realistic and just taking a moment before you start something to be like, is this the right time? Should I wait 2 more weeks? Should I give it a little bit more wiggle room there, wait it out a little bit? Just something to consider, which I find interesting since you had the live for today message. But we're going to see what else you have coming forward with the charm mat here. I'm going to zoom you out in a second. And we're going to see what the charms have to say. So we're going to do not only the charms, but the tarot tiles as well. So if you are new to this and you haven't really seen me do any of these readings before, this is how it's going to be set up here on this custom charm mat, which, by the way, if you guys are interested in your own embroidered and sewed up charm mat, then do let me know. But the ones that we're going to be doing here today, we're going to be using this middle area to look more into those main energies. Anything here on the left side in this little noodle shape is going to be related to week 1, and then anything here on the right side will be related to week 2, and we'll talk about the moons more specifically if they come up. So let's go ahead and pull you some tarot tiles here first. Okay, interesting. So you have the Death card upright as well as the Fool card reversed. You also have the Star card coming forward, and then a couple that will reveal as we go. And don't worry, I'll zoom in here soon so you can see them a little bit more clearly. But let's get some charms so we can really figure out what this is all about. So let's see, group 1 next week. Okay, so lots of charms flying all over the place. I'm going to pick up these 2 on the edge and see where they want to land. And we will go from there. So let's go ahead and zoom you in to the center to start us off. So like I said, you already have this 2 of ink medium for your message with setting and purpose and balance. But you also have here, speaking of balance, you also have the Death card coming forward. So the Death card here, I know it can be kind of a scary card, but it usually just represents, something kind of needing to meld away for something new to come in. So especially since you have that completion message and that idea of like finishing something off over these next 2 weeks is, again, needing to be prepared. Is this the time to actually finish something, right? I said at the beginning that you're probably going to finish something, but the more that we're getting these messages and things are sort of filling out, and the fact that you got the icicle of preparation and the death card coming forward with this card is really just making me kind of believe that right now, if you want to complete something, you probably can complete it, but it is going to need a lot more preparation. It's going to need a lot more priming for you to be able to do that. So that's just something to consider, making sure that things are in balance and this is the right time to do so. Other things you have coming in, let's go ahead and look at week. Zoom you out so you can kind of see a little bit better. So let's reveal our tarot card for you. We have the Queen of Pentacles, very nurturing. This almost feels like how your spirit guide felt. Very nurturing, very comforting. Someone who's really there to hold your hand, give you a hug, make sure you're safe, make sure you are comforted. And so the fact that you're having that coming forward in your first week is that maybe there's someone in your life, whether it's a spirit guide, as you do have a little bit of that coming forward even more with some angels here in week 2, whether it's a spirit guide, possibly an Aquarius in your life, in their sun, moon, or rising sign, or otherwise. Regardless, I just think that someone's going to really be there for you. They're possibly going to be there for you monetarily, but it feels like more specifically that they're going to be there for you literally as comfort, someone to hug, someone to hold your hand, someone to just give you some affirmations, remind you that you're doing okay, because you did get the coin, but this is a fake coin. Sometimes it means that like it's not related to money. So that's what I'm really seeing here. And then I just realized I was saying I felt this angel message and I felt this spirit guide message, and then you got a little angel here playing a little flute from this little coin. So another coin showing up here. It really just feels like a spirit guide's really going to be here for you for this very first week, which I feel like I've been feeling their presence the entire time. So it might also be, since you got the death card, someone that's beyond the veil, someone in your ancestry or loved ones beyond the veil. Regardless, that's coming forward quite heavily in the first week. So it could just be that they're sending you some messages, reaching out for you, holding your hand, looking out for you. So that's just really comforting and lovely to see. As for your second week, kind of moving into that same vein of maybe not being able to complete things, the second week you're also getting, more guidance here to showcase that the Fool is coming forward. And the Fool is coming forward not upright, but rather reversed. And the Fool is all about new beginnings, starting a new beginning, believing in yourself, just like flying by the seat of your pants and getting something done and just trying something new. And it seems that you're being guided, like if you're feeling like starting something new, maybe, again, it's not the right time. It really feels like these next 2 weeks, it's just really about taking, the busyness of your life and kind of figuring that all out before starting something new and, making things more tangled and possibly more difficult. You also have the letter W coming forward here as well, which might give you more indications about that spirit guide. Other things you have showing up here on week 2, we have the wishy-washy charm. This can be that this is like a good week to do some like cleaning, some prepping, and just like housework, getting some stuff organized, right? Lots of preparation being a huge part of your next 2 weeks. But also this can mean that you're just needing some clarity about something. Again, there was that conversation coming forward earlier with the tea and the gossip, but there's also this feeling too of just like feeling wishy-washy about a decision, possibly too. And then you also have the 2 cards of both the Star and the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands also wants to start a new project, and they want renewal, and these cards are really showcasing that renewal, starting a new project, getting things going, but you're feeling quite wishy-washy about it. It might be related to abundance and finances as well, as you did get that with the bell, and the chain coming up pretty close as well. So I really am feeling like this second week, you're being guided at least to take things easy, and if you're feeling wishy-washy about starting something new, maybe this is a good time to really consider what you mean, really consider it before you start, because if you do start it, you're going to be in for the long haul, because we did get the long haul journey, or the long journey ahead of you charm coming forward. It's not to say, again, because you kind of got a guided message here, it's not to say that they're telling you to do one way or the other, but that if you do decide to, take up this mantle, to hold the wand, to really go for it, it's gonna be for the long run. So that is something to consider. And also with this guided message, I can also see it sometimes as reminding me of like a lighthouse and like the big light in the lighthouse. And a lighthouse, as beautiful as it is truly just a sailor's warning to remind you, or to show sailors that they're about to hit land. So again, this is also telling you on this long journey that you're being guided to take things easy, really check things out, be prepared, really look around a little bit, get your facts and things in order before you start this new project. It's not to say not to start it, but it is to say just really get, prepped. So those are all the messages that I really have coming forward for you over these next 2 weeks. I do hope this has been useful to you and has given you a little bit more insight and honestly some comfort possibly from a spirit guide coming forward for you and really looking out for you over these next 2 weeks, because you are definitely being looked out and looked out after. Or looked after, rather. Thank you so much for being here with me today, though. And if you did enjoy this reading, if you got something out of it, do be sure to give this video a like. Let me know in the comments down below, especially if you know who that guide is. And feel free to subscribe, as I put out new videos every single Monday for pick a card readings for the majority. But as you saw last week, I actually sprinkled in a little bit of art magic, and I do some charm casting educational videos as well. So do feel free to subscribe. If you're interested in getting your own charm mat or interested in rainbow pride earrings or any other offerings that I have, do feel free to check out all the information in my link tree down below and with helpful reviews on my Instagram. And with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys there. Thank you so much again for hanging out here with me today and just letting me be a little part of your Monday. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, group 2. If you decide to choose the message of turn the page, then this is the pile for you as we move into your next 2 weeks, looking with the charms, with the numbers, letter tiles, tarot tiles, and the deck of choice today being another queer created deck with a threadbound oracle for Pride Month. And I just absolutely love this deck too, so it's not that hard to want to use it. But we are going to go ahead and get right into it. So do feel free to get yourself cozy, get yourself settled. If you hear thunder outside, there's a really big thunderstorm going on out there, so just adding to the energy and ambiance of the reading, right? So let's go ahead and get right into it. So you have turn the page. Very curious to see how that corresponds to everything we pull here, but we're going to start first with the letters. So you may see initials here, you might see dates, you might read different things, you might scramble up the letters and see things for yourself, or initials coming forward that are important to you, but I always just want to let you know that you are welcome with everything that we use here today to use your own intuition, see what comes forward, play with this reading with me and see what happens. So let's get right into it. So feel free to send your energy in and let's pull you some letters, group 2. Okay, so the ones we have coming up first for you are B, N, E, U, and O. Lots of vowels. We also have C, another B, another E, another O, and an L. So we really only have a few consonants. It's quite even here between consonants and vowels. And so whenever I notice that, it usually means things are more in balance, especially when it comes to your communication, and especially when it comes to how you communicate and how clearly you are communicating with others. So that's really nice. Other things that I'm seeing here, I'm seeing like cone. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I also see, okay, here it is. I was like, I'm not really getting a ton from cone. All I've been thinking is like ice cream cone, but clone also came forward. So there could be that someone or yourself, right? If we use some self-reflection here, either someone or yourself, especially with this turn the page, might have tried to impersonate you or steal your ideas, or you may have taken other people's ideas or even found inspiration off of them too, right? This could be a very positive thing. It could go many different ways, depending on your guys' lives. But clone is coming forward here. It feels like, again, someone's taking over your voice or you're taking over theirs. Turn the page feels connected to writing or creative writing or something like that. Someone stealing your words, stealing your voice, or you taking someone else's voice and using it as inspiration. Could go a lot of different ways, but that is coming forward. Other things, we've got like a bone, almost like literally the charms are like throwing me a bone here. Making me think of like having a backbone or something like that. And I'm also seeing bin, which is making me think that a lot of what we've been talking about has been quite past tense. Not that it's necessarily happening over these next 2 weeks, but right, this clone or this bone situation has been related to something that's happened in the past, and you're ready to turn the page, you're ready to move past it, or you're healing from it, something like that. Like, this feels unrelated to the next 2 weeks in terms of it actually happening, but rather something that is just resurfacing, or you're moving past it, turning the page past it, which is good to see with everything else. So that's kind of all I'm really getting from the charms of the letters. But let's go ahead and look at what you might be having come in here with the numbers. So similar to the letters, we're going to see if there are any significant dates coming forward. The letters might even interact with these. We're going to see, but the angel numbers might be coming forward, repeating numbers. You might even use the colors of the numbers for more indications. Feel free to really, use these to your advantage and see what comes forward. Okay, so we got 4 of them. We have the number 5 in orange, 5 being a number of change. This feels like a very positive change. We have the number 7, 7 being a number of retrospection, so looking to the past to create change. You also have the number 6 in orange as well, a very fiery, happy, moving forward energy of orange, with 6 being a number of harmony. And you also have 2 showing up here in red, 2 being a number of connection or one-on-one conversations, intimacy, partnership, things like that. So the fact that this is all coming forward really makes me think, again, you're turning the page with a situation with a significant person in your life or a significant partnership, teamwork that's going on here, and you're ready to turn the page, you're ready to move on, you've retrospect, you've looked at the situation, you're ready to just find peace with it. That's really what I'm getting here for the main energy so far. But of course, we're going to look further and we're going to see what the cards have to say. So we're going to see the main energy coming forward for you for the next 2 weeks. So thinking of this as like the theme of the next 2 weeks. So feel free, as always, to send your energy in with these. And let's see what comes forward for you, group 2. The next 2 weeks, group 2, what do we got coming forward for the main energy? Got like 2 cards, but the artist came forward as the main one here. So interesting. Like I said, it felt like someone was taking your voice, taking your artistry, taking your creativity, or again, they also could have just been inspired by you too, right? It could go both ways. This could really go so many different directions. You're inspired, they're inspired. Something got a little messy in there. But here we are with the artist, the creativity, the ingenuity, the labor coming forward for the keywords for this. And I'm also seeing, like, even in that same feeling of turn the page, right? Taking the dark black from behind them, from the past, and creating something new into the future. It really does feel like you're taking something that wasn't working, or that a difficult situation happened between you and another person related to your creativity, related to your art, related to an original idea of yours that got a little bit messy, and now we're ready to like organize it back into color and to bring light back to it to heal. So that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here, right? The artist is really good at taking things from the past and using it into their art. So it doesn't have to be that you guys are an artist, but if you just sort of are using your own creative genius or your own creative ideas, those all really count towards the same feeling, right? Of that ingenuity, changing things up, getting creative, and taking ownership for your work and your actions too with that labor. So that's everything that I'm really getting here just from the main energies. But of course, we're going to look further by actually looking with the charms into a week by week charm forecast. So we're going to use the charms and the letter tiles. We'll start first with the letter tiles. But if you guys are interested in getting your own charm mat, somewhere similar to this one or another design that you'd like to have, definitely feel free to message me and let me know, because I think it'd be so much fun to create different charm mats for each of you with different symbols that are important to you, different layouts, colors, designs. Would really love to, work with a custom design for you all. But that's not why we're here. Today we're actually going to look into the charm map for this specific reading, where anything that falls here in the center is going to be related more to that artist message, to the main energies coming forward. We're also going to look into here on the left side, this little noodle shape. We're going to look into week 1, and then on the right, week 2, and then we'll talk about the moons individually if any of them come forward. So let's go ahead and pull you some tarot tiles. Okay, so we have only 2 out of 2 of the charms really coming forward, and I will zoom forward here for you all in a minute. But we have the 3 of Wands as well as the Moon card. We'll reveal these later on, but let's get first the details of the charms. So let's pull these to get those further details for you, group 2, week 2, or 2 weeks. Okay, the charms are really taking their time with your guys' pile, which I don't mind. This one is funny because it fell straight into my lap right at the start of me mixing them, and it's the original charm. It's the charm about originality, original ideas, speaking your ideas fully. But I do think it's interesting that original ideas came forward, and the parrot charm was also right on top of the charms, like ready to go here too. And the parrot is also talking about someone sort of cloning, parroting, doing the exact same thing that we've already kind of talked about. So let's go ahead and have a further look here by zooming in. So let's see here. We've got the moon. We've got actually a lot falling here in the center, so let's just navigate this. So we've got the moon card alongside the artist here. You have the Eiffel Tower, you have the letter A, you have the original ideas charm, and then you also got this SD card. And it's kind of making me feel like you're maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed by your own creative ideas, or your own ideas and how to like actually bring them to life. So it's kind of like having these original ideas but not necessarily knowing what to do with them or how to bring them to life, because you do have the moon charm, which is all about illusions, confusion, not feeling exactly like you know the way. And then you also have the overwhelmed charm. Whenever I see this bobby pin, it represents feeling overwhelmed, feeling overworked, overtired, feeling overstretched, right? And then the letter A being attached to that. So it could be someone's initial. It could also be A in relation to the artist. And then the other reason why I feel like you're maybe feeling like overstretched or out of your element here is because you did get the SD card, and the SD card shows that there's only 32 megabytes on this thing. It's a very small amount of space, so it really feels like, again, you're like running out of bandwidth, running out of space, feeling like you don't have enough to like sort of run off of. So it's kind of making me think that the reason why maybe you're needing to turn the page with this is that someone's been taking your ideas or spinning them in a way that you don't particularly like, but also by not having them at your side or not having this partnership or not having their counsel will also mean that you're kind of losing a little bit of that help that you had when it came to your ideas and kind of a springboard. You also have the perspective charm of the Eiffel Tower. This can literally just mean like travel for a few of you, but this also, for me, I tend to see it as the Eiffel Tower when it was first put up was something people absolutely hated. They wanted it taken down. They were like boycotting the thing. And now obviously people love it. People travel the world to go see it. So it's about a huge perspective shift. And so I feel like this next 2 weeks where all of this is feeling kind of overwhelming, or the situation, like I said, is related to the past, things you already know, the turn the page is coming forward with this charm. That's making me think that all of this that we've just talked about, this overwhelm, this not knowing how to get your ideas out there, not knowing what to do with them, feeling a little lost, feeling a little confused, this huge perspective shift is about to happen. You're about to turn the page, you're about to heal, you're about to move past the situation or find a way to change the situation that you're currently in for the better. So that's really lovely to see at the heart of your reading. Other things that you have coming in here for week 1, you have kind of 2 different sections here. So let's go ahead and read the top one. You have, of course, the 2 of Wands followed by the 3 of Wands. So these actually worked really well, showcasing like maybe at the beginning of the first week, you're going to feel again a little confused, like you don't have all the pieces. Things aren't all fully aligning. You're trying to prep, you're trying to figure it out because the 2 of Wands represents sort of prepping, looking into this globe, trying to figure things out, trying to kind of get your bearings, but not necessarily having all the pieces to the puzzle, not necessarily knowing exactly how to do it. But here, by the time we get to the farther end of the week, for week 1, you're really starting to springboard. You're still hesitating a little bit, but I feel like you're much more positive, much more optimistic about your situation, feeling like you're getting your bearings again, and kind of getting a jump start. I always see this as like a little frog. So it feels like you start hesitating, you're still kind of hesitating, and then you just jump into it, you leap into it, you take a leap of faith. So I really love seeing that come forward. It also, this card can represent networking, asking for help, looking for new people to kind of work with, right? They're looking at these little boats at the harbor, right? New people coming in, new opportunities sailing in that you might be feeling a little hesitant about, feeling a little, I don't know, should I jump in, should I not? But I think that you're in a much better place by the second half of week 1 when it comes to that. Here on week 2, you have a few different charms. You have the sticking to the Wands theme, we've got the 9 of Wands. So it feels like you're in a place where you're not really letting your past situation, right? The past situation that we've talked about that's kind of gotten you in the past feeling like you need to put boundaries, needing to kind of wall yourself off, needing to always be on the defensive. That's starting to melt away. That's starting to kind of like calm down, and that healing is starting to begin. And then also the ideas and opportunities that are coming forward for you, these little boats, right? These opportunities and the people coming forward, they don't want to do this. They don't want to work with you for the cash. They don't want to work with you for the money. They're here for the opportunity. They really want to help. They want to, give their all. So if you are, this idea, right, it doesn't have to be related to artistry. It could be related to your job. It could be related to wanting to paint your bedroom. It could be related to basically any original new idea that you want to bring to the table that's related to the situation from the past. It feels like someone new is coming in, or a new opportunity is coming in that's going to be very lucky, that's going to be like a once in a blue moon kind of situation, and they are not here for the cash, they're not here for the money, they're here for the true value that you bring to the project, and they're here for the excitement that you're bringing forward, right? They believe in what you believe in. So very contagious energy showing up here. So that's really everything that I'm getting here for you for the next 2 weeks. I do hope that this has been useful and gave you some more insight of how your next 2 weeks might go. You've had a more mysterious pile, so I would really love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below to see if you had extra context that came forward or other things. And also do be sure to give this video a like. And if you like these pick a card readings and you want to see more in the future or more on charm casting or even art magic, because I just put out a new art magic video that I think you guys would really enjoy if you're interested into creativity, then definitely feel free to subscribe, as I put out new videos every single Monday that I think you would like, so feel free to check them out. And like I said, if you're interested in getting your own charm casting mat that is hand embroidered and put with so much love and care into the design and the way in which you want yours to work out, or you're interested in other offerings such as handmade spell and ritual papers, or a snail mail reading, or even rainbow pride earrings, then definitely feel free to check out all the information on that down below and through my link tree, where you'll find lots of helpful reviews on my Instagram and other information that you might like. So with that all said, thank you so much for hanging out here with me today, for just being a little slice of your Monday, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose go your own way as your affirmation here for your next 2 weeks, then this is definitely the pile for you. We're going to be doing all of your next 2 weeks with the charms, with the numbers, with the letters, tarot tiles, and the queer created deck of the Thread Bound Oracle for Pride Month, and because, I love this deck, so can't help but want to get it out anyway. But we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I don't want to waste any of your guys' time here on your precious Monday, so let's get right into it. We are going to be looking first into your letters. As always, use your own intuition with this, as we use lots of different supplies here. There's a lot of opportunities for your own intuition to really spark, so definitely feel free to kind of play around with this reading with me and see what comes forward. But with the letters, we're going to look specifically into any oracle messages that are coming forward that we can spell out, any dates, names, or initials that are important for you. But let's go ahead and pull you some letters. Okay, let's see. Immediately I'm seeing like wrap, like it's a wrap, like again, maybe not again for you guys, but this came up in pile number 1 as well, like wrapping things up, finishing things up, completing something. So we have W-R-A-P. You also have an S, R, F, a R, U, and an O. Boots with the fur, I don't know why that came up in my head, but it just feels really playful, like something is wrapping up, there's a celebration, something maybe with a fur baby, or a younger one in your life, a younger energy, a very youthful energy is coming forward here. We also got like, I'm seeing like up here, so it feels like things are on the up. It feels like things are doing really well, especially when it comes to like a fur baby or a loved one who's got that younger spirit in your life. That may even be you, not that you're a fur baby, but you know what I mean? Like you might have that younger spirit coming forward. But it feels like inner child magic, feels like connecting with loved ones and guides who are maybe more animal guides. And I'm also seeing, like I said, something wrapping up, finishing up, completing something. You also have randomly like Ross coming forward too, which makes me think of Friends, like the TV show. So there could be something showing up there for you guys too. It just feels really playful, right? I'm getting like boots with the fur, Ross. There's lots of like pop culture references that are coming forward here too. So I feel like there could be something happening in like a TV show or a movie or something pop culture related that's really important to you over these next 2 weeks coming forward that maybe you're excited for, on the up for. Yeah, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. Go your own way just feels very empowering as well. So really exciting to see for the start of your pile, group 3. Oh my gosh. Already here thinking we're back to group 1. Anyway, here we go. let's look at your numbers as well, group 3, and see what else is coming forward here for you. So very similar to the letters, we're going to be looking into the numbers to see any significant dates, angel numbers, spirit numbers. We're going to see if there are any repeating numbers, numerology, and you can also look at them with the numbers having different labels of color, which might give an extra added layer. So let's go ahead and pull these as well. Okay, so let's see. You have 5 in the color of blue. You have 4 in orange, 1 in red, and 7 in orange. So we've got like the 15th, the 14th, the 17th, right? These might be numbers that have already passed for you in terms of dates, but the things that happened on those days may still be significant. Like and how they connect to these next 2 weeks, things that happened during those dates. 47 is coming forward here, 4 being a number of feeling very secure, right? It's a very secure, very laying down the foundation, things feeling very calm, really, of a number. And then you have 7 being a number of introspection, looking to the past, making sure to look to the future, preparation kind of energy. So it feels like you're like prepping for the future with some sort of foundation here. 5 being a number of change, but it feels like you're feeling really quite calm with the change that's coming in. And then the number 1 being a number of starting something, but you got it in the color red, so it could be that it's just like not the best time to start things. This also came forward a bit in group 1, so if you're feeling like this isn't your pile, definitely feel free to check out group 1, because I feel like not only did I say group 1, but I'm also just getting lots of hints that are reminding me of group 1 that I think it might be worth your time checking out, maybe both. But let's go ahead and see your main energy here at group 3. So we're going to be seeing the main overarching energy, the theme for you for the next 2 weeks. So if you haven't sent your energy in yet, definitely do so now, especially for this card pull. But let's go ahead and pull you a card. Or rather, just slam one out. So let's see what you got here. You got the cover, the 7 of paper. Interesting with another 7 here. The 7 of paper, the cover, protection, beauty, wholeness. What I love about this illustration is this feeling of like putting on the cover, finishing a book. Like when you think of a book, right? What is a book without its cover? What is the book without its dust jacket? What is the book without that? It gives it the structure, it gives it the foundation, it gives it the protection it needs. And so the fact that you have that coming in here just makes me feel like you're feeling very protected. You're feeling very like you're wrapping things up. You're completing something. Something has come full circle even. Like tying up loose ends. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here. It feels very beautiful. It feels very positive and optimistic. So I really love seeing that come forward. You have like these poinsettias as well, which makes me think that whatever it is that you're wrapping up, maybe you started back in like December for the Northern Hemisphere or in winter. So that's something to consider as well. But let's go ahead and look at what else you have coming in with the charms, as they're going to give us a lot more information to play around with to see for your next 2 weeks. So we're going to be using the charm casting mat here with the charms and the tarot tiles to look into a charm kind of 2 week ahead forecast for you, going week by week. And we're going to do that with the charm mat here. If you aren't familiar with charms, I have a whole master guide on charm casting that you might enjoy. And if you are familiar with charms and you want to get your own charm casting mat, I also create those as well. I sew them, I hand create them, I hand design them for you, choosing the colors, choosing the layout, choosing the embroidery that I do, all that fun stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely feel free to reach out, because I'd love to create one. But we're going to go ahead and look at how we're going to put the charms on this mat. So for this specific one today, anything that falls here in the middle circle is going to be related to more of that cover message or those overarching energies for you, the themes. Anything that falls on the noodle shape here of the left side will be related to week 1, and then anything here on the right side will be related to week 2. We'll talk about the moons individually if they come up. So let's go ahead and pull you some tarot tiles. feel like yours are just flying out here today. So nothing is really coming forward that we're going to look at right the second, because I'm going to pull some charms here in a second. But you do have the Seven of Swords here coming up upright. It's the only upright one that or rather it's reversed, but the only one that is showing itself here for you guys so far. So we'll look into this more in a second, but let's go ahead and pull you some charms too to get those added extra details. So here we go. Group 3, the next 2 weeks. Okay. See, two of them that are falling off of here, so I'm going to go ahead and see if they were meant to be there or not, which they do feel like they were. And let's zoom you into the center. So like I said, we've already kind of looked at a little bit of what falls into the center with, this feels more like week 1, with the cover here. But you only have 2 charms showing up here in the central ring that we're really going to be focusing on. You have the Seven of Swords, like I said, but it is reverse. So, right, this would be upright. And usually they're walking away, being kind of sneaky. You don't really know if they're up to no good, or if they're taking them for a good, noble reason. You don't know why they're taking these swords. You don't know what the situation is, right? This is feeling unclear. Things feel like kind of lies, mysterious, no good. But the fact that you got it reversed is telling me that if there was a lie, if there was something that felt unclear in your life, clarity is on its way for sure here in your next 2 weeks. Again, something sort of wrapping up. You also have, related to that, what might be becoming more clear is something that you're maybe taking a leap on, a new project, something new that you want to start now that things are starting to wrap up. The Fool is all very foolish, but they've got that young energy that I talked about earlier. Can mean that they're a little bit naive, can mean that they're just gonna fly by the seat of their pants and see what happens, or falling off this cliff. But they also believe in themselves to know, what to do in this situation, how to get where they need to go, and they want to just try things out, play, get playful, really listen to their inner child muse. So if I would say anything that's coming forward for you for the next 2 weeks is just this young, youthful energy coming forward to you, and then also a lot of clarity and peace of mind coming forward with a situation really being resolved there. Other things that are happening here for the first week, you have quite a few things falling in the first week. Here at the top, you have the Eight of Swords. I don't know why I thought it was 9. The 8 of Swords here, feeling kind of tied up, wrapped up. Again, we got that wrap energy several times. We had it in the loose ends here of the card. You had it in your letters here, and then you're feeling really wrapped up with a weight right on you. So in week 1, things aren't necessarily wrapped up yet. You may even be listening to this and being like, oh my gosh, I'd love things to be wrapped up, but you still have this still to do. So I feel like you're definitely feeling that weight in the first week, but it does seem like things are probably going to lighten up with everything that I see here. First off, you're going to feel more secure as the week goes on. You have the security charm, and that you have a safety net of people to kind of help you. You do have that young energy coming forward with this nostalgia charm with this clip. And then this one also is a clip from my childhood too, so it kind of just feels like, again, child energy coming forward to really make you feel secure. Maybe just to remind you, to take things more easy, to not stretch yourself. Kind of connecting with your inner child muse, or with younger people in your life, right? Children or nephews, nieces, younger siblings even, things like that. People who can really kind of help you out. You also have the charm of a spirit guide working kind of in your favor in this first week. I always see this as like a spirit guide working behind the scenes to help something happen for you. So it seems like they are, keeping an eye on you, doing something here in the first week. You may not know what it is now, but it'll come up later on. And then as we move into the second week, you have the Muse of the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups has that youthful energy as well. Literally, there's like typically a fish coming out of this cup, right? They're very playful, they're very fun, they're theatrical. And so again, I feel like there's this very young energy coming into your life, resurfacing, whether it's your inner child muse, whether it's an actual child in your life, whether it's a spirit guide that's coming forward and making you giggle, right? Something like that is coming in, helping you to kind of hack away at things that are feeling unclear or uncertain, because you just get the hacksaw here. And then you also have the charm of the cracked Liberty Bell. I also like this one too. It just can represent something that is very old, something that has been around for a while. So this unclear feeling that you've been maybe stuck in for a while, literally wrapped up in, feeling a weight from, that's definitely starting to lift in the second week. Things are hacking away, you're hacking away at it. And what is hacking it away, what is helping you to feel more secure, feel more at ease and at peace, is that youthful energy. Reconnecting with that. So however that comes forward for you, that is something to consider and to really lean into over the next 2 weeks. With that said, you did get a lot of charms falling here on the moons, so we're going to talk about each of them. I like to start here with the new moon. So whenever you are watching this, we're just coming out, I suppose I should start with the full moon then. We're just coming out of the full moon when this comes up. So I'll go ahead and zoom you out a little bit. So we're just coming out of the full moon. So the things that are happening just after the full moon, we have a black and white charm, which usually represents things feeling kind of sticky, feeling kind of still, there isn't wiggle room, right? Things are black or they are white. Things are this or they are that, you know? And so I feel like you are still in that kind of uptight feeling right now, but it is starting to weaken. Things are starting to change, especially because of the charms that I see here. So let's see what will be revealed here. As we get closer to the new moon, you have the Two of Cups coming forward. Kind of what this makes me think of is connecting with that inner child, connecting with that childlike energy, and really forming a deeper connection. As that's coming forward with them handing you a cup here, lots of different energies of young child energy. You even got here on the new moon, the toy plane. I have 2 different planes in my set, but this specific one is the toy plane. So it's not about what the plane usually represents, right? Going on a trip or you know, taking a little trip. This usually represents playing around with the magic of imagination, of play, of just getting into that childlike giddy energy. And so that's coming forward. You're feeling renewed for sure. As we get further on, it's going to feel much more healthy, feeling much more at ease with the apple coming forward. The apple can even represent coming up from the underworld, right? Something that feels very renewing, feels very fresh. And then here to finish off your charms here at the first quarter moon, which is all about the action moon, you have where things are black and white. Now things are starting to get more zigzaggy, right? So you're feeling much more playful. Things are going to lighten up a lot more and give you a ton more room to play. So very excited about your next 2 weeks, group 3. I do hope that this gave you some ideas and inspiration and also gave you some guidance for the next 2 weeks for you. If you did, definitely be sure to give this video a like and let me know, as always, in the comments down below how it connected with you. If there are certain charms or cards that really struck your fancy or gave you some extra little information and nuggets, I'd love to hear. If you do enjoy these readings and these pick a card readings and you'd like to see more of them, I put out new videos every single Monday that I think you'd really enjoy, so definitely feel free to subscribe. And alongside that, I do art magic videos, which I just put up one recently, and I also do charm casting videos too. So if any of those interest you, feel free to subscribe for that reason as well. With that all said, though, I'm going to go ahead and leave you here. Feel free to check out my Instagram as well as my link tree if you want to get your own charm casting mat, or if you're interested in the rainbow pride earrings that I hand crochet, if you're interested in getting your own reading through a snail mail reading, or if you want to get some handmade spell and ritual papers as well. So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Literally wrap it up. And thank you so much for hanging out here with me today for a little slice of your Monday. and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.